You ever wonder why some people just seem to get money, right? They build wealth, and it looks almost easy. Meanwhile, the rest of us feel like we're stuck on a hamster wheel, no matter how much we earn. Well, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad dives right into that. And you know what? It all comes down to the advice he got from two very different father figures. So let's break down the simple but crazy powerful ideas that made all the difference in their lives. Okay, so look at this. You've got two paths here, and they could not be more different. On one side, you have what most of us were taught, right? Poor dad's advice. Go to school, get good grades, find a safe, secure job. It's the predictable route. But then you have rich dad's advice. And this was a total game changer. He said, stop working for money. Instead, learn how to make your money work for you. And believe me, that one little shift in perspective, it's the key to everything we're about to talk about. And that brings us to our first major point, the great mindset shift. Seriously, think about this. What if the whole goal of working wasn't just to get a bigger paycheck? What if it was about fundamentally changing how you see money, not just as a reward you get for your time, but as a tool that can go out and work for you?
I mean, this quote right here, this is the heart and soul of the entire book. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. It's the difference between being an employee, where you're stuck trading your precious time for dollars, and being an owner. That's where your assets, your investments, your money, it's out there working for you 24/7, even while you're sleeping. Now that's powerful.
So how does money actually work for you? What does that even look like? Well, the answer is this magic concept. It's kind of the holy grail of this whole philosophy, passive income. Just think of it as money that you earn without having to actively trade your time for it. You know, it's that rent check that just shows up every month, or the dividends from stocks you own, or maybe it's revenue from a business that pretty much runs itself. It's money that flows in from the systems you've built.
So here's the bottom line, right? It's a strategic shift in focus. Instead of pouring every ounce of your energy into climbing that corporate ladder at your 9 to 5, you start redirecting some of that energy. You start building these independent money-making systems. And that is how you finally break out of that old work-to-spend cycle for good. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But where do you actually start? Well, it all boils down to understanding one incredibly simple yet crazy powerful rule. A rule that, honestly, separates the rich from pretty much everyone else.
Okay, listen up, because this is it. This is maybe the single most important definition in the entire book, and it's so simple. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. That's it. Forget all those complicated accounting definitions you've heard. This is all you really need to know.
It's such a simple distinction, but the consequences are absolutely massive. Look over here on the asset side. You've got things like investments, rental properties, businesses, stuff that generates cash flow for you. Then look at the other side, the liabilities. This is the stuff that just drains your cash. Expensive car payments, personal debt, credit card bills. The secret? The wealthy just focus all their energy on buying stuff from that first column. It's that simple.
All right, so if the goal is to load up on assets, what's the actual game plan? How do you do it? Well, Rich Dad lays out a pretty clear playbook for actively building wealth. And it goes way beyond just, trying to save whatever's left over from your paycheck. So the playbook really breaks down into 3 core moves. Step 1, you got to shift from being an employee to an owner. That means creating or buying businesses. Step 2, you have to learn the rules of the money game, especially how to use legal tax strategies so you can keep more of what you make. And step 3, you've got to get comfortable with taking smart, calculated risks. Because if you avoid all risk, you're also avoiding all the opportunity.
Yeah, this is all about learning to think like an investor, not an employee. It means using the power of entrepreneurship, figuring out how to use the tax code to your advantage, just like the big corporations do, and, this one's crucial, not being terrified to fail. In this world, failures aren't the end of the road. They're just really expensive but valuable lessons on your way to success.
But look, to actually pull this playbook off, you need a very specific set of skills. And notice what's on this list. It's not about being the best doctor or the best engineer. It's about things like financial literacy, knowing how to sell and market, finding people who can mentor you, and maybe most important of all, committing to never, ever stop learning.
And this quote just nails that idea perfectly. Work to learn, not just to earn. Think about that. Especially when you're starting out, the skills and the knowledge you can get from a job can be way more valuable than the paycheck. So you should choose jobs that are going to teach you how to sell, how to market, how to invest. Those are the skills that will pay you back for the rest of your life.
So what's the point of all this?
I mean, why bother with this whole mindset shift and acquiring assets? Well, it's all about one thing, escaping what Kiyosaki famously calls the rat race.
Tell me if this sounds familiar. You get a raise at work, great. So you buy a bigger house or maybe a nicer car. But now your expenses are higher, so you're trapped. You have to work even harder just to keep up. That endless, exhausting cycle of working more just to spend more without ever really getting ahead, that is the rat race.
So what's the escape plan? How do you get out? It's pretty much a summary of everything we've just talked about. First, you have to prioritize your financial education. Then you use what you learn to just obsessively focus on buying income-generating assets, while at the same time you're minimizing all those liabilities that drain your cash. You do that over and over and you'll start to build those amazing streams of passive income.
And here it is, the finish line. This is the simple math, the formula for freedom. It's not about having millions and millions in the bank. Nope. It's about one specific moment. The moment your passive income from your assets is more than your monthly expenses. When that happens, you don't need your job anymore. You work because you want to, not because you have to. You, my friend, are financially free.
So when you boil it all down, it comes back to our own daily choices. Every single dollar you spend is a vote. It's a vote for the future you want. You're either buying an asset or you're buying a liability. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Are your habits building freedom, or are they just making that wheel on the rat race spin a little bit faster?